Hello everyone, my name is Babbage and welcome back to some more 3.10 PTU shenanigans. So we're here in the sort of cabin of my 890 jump, which I've just spent a fair while taking out of atmosphere. Just testing it with the second build of the PTU, so we've had another build go out tonight. And I just wanted to test a few things. So the 890 still takes a hell of a long time to get out of atmosphere, but I've kind of learnt how to feather the throttle so I don't use up so much fuel. But the main reason I wanted to come onto the PTU tonight and show you guys things is because of these. These are the new Electron weapons. So here we have the Uberov pistol. This is the Electron sidearm. And I've not used these yet, so I have no idea what they're going to do, but we're just going to give them some test fires just to show you guys what they're like. So these are a new weapon type. They are Electron, so you think of them as sort of giant tasers, I suppose is the best way. So these are meant to be stun gun weapons, but they will kill with, you know, I imagine several shots. That's the idea anyway. So we're just going to mess about with them. So we'll just fire a few things of this off. So it does fire a bolt. I'm going to go into third person just so there's a better view of this. Doesn't seem this one has a charge like some of the other ones do. She ejects the cell and shoves a spare battery in. So this thing has batteries and they look like they go into the rear of the gun. So this is the pistol, just holster this. And this is the sniper rifle. I imagine this thing is a little bit more aggressive. There we go. Oh, she's cocking this thing. Okay, so this thing has, as you can imagine, quite telescopic sight on it. Let's fire across at the other end of the cabin, shall we? And this thing does appear to fire some kind of bolt, even though it does seem to use batteries. See if it charges. No, so there's no charge on this either. They seem to just fire a single bolt action, and then it looks like she pulls some kind of railgun round into the interior of it. It's hard to see. Or maybe she's just cooling the these what seems to be these vents on the side here. And I've run out of ammo. I know I do have more magazines. It's just being very finicky with the personal equipment manager today. Let's see if I can just get this one to have some more magazines in. Where are we? There we go. So it acts like they're already equipped when they really aren't. See if it gives me another one to play with. There we go, it's giving me some more rounds. So it looks like the thing fires and then opens these vents at the sides. Let's just fire one blank off the side here. Yeah, so you can see she charges these things down the sides. It's very cool. I don't know how effective it's going to be in combat. Well, we will have to see. I do like it. I did end up buying the sub ones because I'm a sucker for the sub flare guns. Yeah, it's almost like those vents on the sides are cooling. Yeah, and she just seems to be like loading some kind of, I suppose in this it will be like a railgun round, if that makes sense. I do find it very strange how the four prongs on the front seem to sort of wiggle about when it fires. Interesting. So there we go. Just a quick look at these new guns, because I hadn't seen them yet and I wanted to go and have a play with them. I don't know how they may be utilised, and I don't know if this thing is going to be a one-shot kill when it fires. I imagine it will be, because at the end of the day this thing seems to be like some kind of, like I said, some kind of rail gun. You see something spinning around in there. I have no idea what it is. It seems to speed up when it fires, but very cool guns. So the next thing I wanted to do, I'm just going to reset my camera views, is I am still above 1 microtech. It's kind of hard to see underneath the 890, but having just come out of the atmosphere, I want to go back in for 2 very good reasons. One is to test the atmospheric entry, because that is a focus test of the patch this time round, and second is to see if I can land this sodding thing. So I have not landed a big ship in this patch, and you are going to get to watch me make a right hash of it, because I imagine that is what this is going to be like. I'm not going to spline into microtech. I am instead going to fly myself down. Now I'm assuming that's microtech down there. It's really hard to see on the hood still. Yep, there's microtech. Right, okay. So spaceport is just to the right of the indicator. I cannot see my directional pipper against the snow there. Oh, that's really fiddly. Where is it? That'll do to be going on with. So, I shall turn the engines on. I'm just going to hit Z so that this thing starts to take its own course. So I'm not controlling the pitch or yaw. I can control the roll. And we'll begin to make our way into the atmosphere. So basically what I mean by this is they have updated graphics, I believe, so that now ships once again have atmospheric re-entry graphics, so your ships appear to burn up, quote marks. They don't burn up, of course, because they've got shields, and in Star Citizen's future we would hope they prevent spaceships from burning up, because that would be a big problem. But it also means, of course, with the whole atmospheric flight, that your ships are going to be affected by atmospheric drag once you start to re-enter, and this could cause some interesting effects. Is there the possibility of coming in at too shallow an angle and your ship's angle of attack being forced upwards, for instance? So essentially you skip off of the atmosphere. So it's going to be interesting, and with big ships like this, can they come in at such a speed that it is dangerous? So essentially, you know, your ship becomes ballistic and you're not able to slow down in time and you just plough into the floor. So, or spaceport, as the case may be today. We'll soon see, but let's have a look and see what we get. In atmosphere, but I don't appear to be having any kind of like re-entry effect graphics. Maybe they're not implemented for all the ships yet. Certainly probably not the bigger ones, because they're a bit more of a challenge. But 100k is Microtech's atmosphere, as we know, and we are just below 70. Also, people complaining in the chat about having problems with the new atmospheric flight, and that is not in a case of bugs in the system, although there certainly are those. I tried to take a Carrack off earlier on, because I wanted to do this demonstration in the Carrack, but my Carrack decided it wanted to do a backflip when it was coming out of the hangar, and I couldn't turn it back over before it got impounded. So swings and roundabouts. That's why, again, you're seeing this in the 890. So people having trouble sort of acclimatizing to the new flight system, and just getting used to taking off in various ships. So, you know, someone was commenting earlier on about the Vanguard in the initial patch was pretty much unflyable, and they seem to have done something to revamp this. So we should be focusing on the flight now. Okay, so 30k, and this thing is, well, coming into 30k, and this thing is still doing 652 meters a second. So there's actually, this thing is hyperbolic, it is at a ballistic trajectory. And I feel for, especially for coming in and landing, I'm coming in at too high an angle. Oh wow, yeah, I can't lower my angle. I need to slow down. There's my hydrogen fuel warning, so I managed to get out of the atmosphere this time without sort of blasting the hydrogen beyond 75%, and that was basically feathering the throttle, so I wasn't using 100% throttle all the time. Well, this thing just wants to nose drop. Flying brake. My pitch indicator is at the top now, and this thing just doesn't want to nose up. It's just falling. It's going to get to a point where it gets to a steady medium of basically the vertical thrusters taking hold and stopping the ship falling. I think I've got to the point now where atmospheric drag, in this case, doesn't make a damn. Okay, so there we go. The VTOL thrusters are catching the ship as it comes down. You can see the directional thrust pipper coming in there. I've just entered the armistice zone, so I can sort of slowly make my way over now. That wasn't so much entering the atmosphere and coming in for a graceful landing as coming into the atmosphere and letting gravity do the majority of the work, because I did just let this thing basically fall until the VTOL thrusters caught it. So, as you can see, with the big black bar in the middle now, whenever you come to a port, as I pointed out in my last video, if there is a spaceport nearby and you are flying towards one, you are prompted to contact the ATC to land, so that's going to help your players. Get a little pretty view of Microtech. I have noticed that the frames have been very good in this PTU patch. Decent frame rates all round, despite some hitching on Microtech's transit system, although I think they've been doing some work to like the glass shaders and things when you're transitioning between points, so when you're in the tunnel, that basically improves the frame rate. So they've been doing a little work behind the scenes, I feel. Still coming in, slow and steady. It's becoming very obvious that flying these big ships is no longer going to be a case of you know, just zipping straight to a spaceport. I just hit my downward thruster there, so control to shift down, because I want to try and lose a bit of altitude. And as you can see, it just made the nose plummet. So just let this thing drift for a second while I contact ATC, because I do need to know where I'm going.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
It's going to be one of these big ones at the top. There we go. I'm coming in at kind of the right angle. Now, an interesting point here is, am I going to be able to do this in time before the hangar times out? Because as we know, they don't stay open forever, and these ships have a learning curve. I'm going to press Control again. And you see how it's just dropping like a stone with little taps. In fact, now I'm pressing spacebar to try and catch it. It's going to be a bump. Oh my god, that was close. Jesus wept. That was the tiniest little touch on the control key there. Okay, so now I need to level it out and reverse. Let's put the gear down just in case, eh? Now, I used to be, at least I thought, pretty good at landing these big ships with the other flight model, but let's face it, the other flight model was easy mode compared to what this thing is. So I've hit the virtual joystick button on the mouse, which basically means it makes it a bit easier for landing. At least that's the principle. I am just eyeballing this, because as of yet we still don't really have much of a visual reference to help you land in these kind of situations. No need for autopilot, because gravity is basically going to do most of the work for me now. And we're down.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
And my many however many million credits it is, Super Yacht is safely landed in an alpha hangar. Well, hangar with bugging alphas. Although we do see Microtech's new hangar doors, the fancy new hangar doors in the high-tech hangars. In a pilot that's puckered up and is now basically shitting bricks because he just landed his super yacht for the first time. Right then. Oh, that wasn't stressful at all. And I didn't crash. I nearly crashed. I thought I was going to crash whilst I was recording this, but there we go. So, super yacht fun time with the 890 and some atmospheric entry. No entry graphics on the 890 it appears, but as you can see, the atmospheric dynamics and the new flight model do make a big difference. And my character is wearing the new armor set once again that I found at Port Olisar that seems to have been added in the last patch. So this is the Orc X Nightfire armor, so combat armor, and I think I've just got one of the Voyager undersuits on just to complete the look. So, new gun, new flight model, landed 890, didn't crash it. Good job. Oi. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.